Hello there, welcome to Assen in the Netherlands, or I should give it the proper title, the TT Circuit Assen. There you go, it's on the thing. Since 1925, for the penultimate race of the 2019 W Series. And it's all to play for in the championship. In fact, we could have the W Series decided here this weekend if Jamie Chadwick, who leads Bajtska Viska by 10 points, finishes third, and Bajtska Viska doesn't finish at all, then Jamie has won this year's W Series. But before we get into the ramifications of that, let me tell you a little bit about this Assen circuit. And isn't it fantastic? Look at this. We've just finished. I'll give you where we are. It's about 7 p.m. This is the time where we're allowed onto the track, and we've just finished from filming with Alan McNish and Lee McKenzie. But better known, of course, as a bike track. MotoGP love coming here, and I love the way the Gerd Trimmer Tribune comes over the runoff. So if you have a particularly terrible accident or hairy moment coming into here, you can still make at the end of the gravel trap while under the grandstand, and I haven't seen that anywhere else in the world actually. So it's wonderfully flat. It's an unusual circuit. It just feels massive. I mean, it is quite long. It's a 1 minute 35 lap in these Formula 3 cars, but it just feels slightly odd, if I'm honest. There are these corporate hospitality bits on the way in here, and I was just saying, Lee McKenzie and Alan McNish, I like the way you can have an accident, hit the barrier under there, and then everyone in the grandstand is like, ooh, he's underneath, he's underneath.
Only you would think of that, but you are absolutely correct. They should have put in a glass bottom floor on the grandstand.
Yeah. How many other grandstands, can somebody be happening underneath you?
Abu Dhabi, end of the straight in Abu Dhabi is probably the only one I can think of. Aha. Clearly you've never actually walked around the circuit in Abu Dhabi to know that.
No, end of the straight, it doesn't undercut.
No, it goes under the grandstand.
Brain,
failure,
tick,
end of straight, Abu
tock.
Dhabi.
You don't mean the pit lane?
No.
Pit lane goes under the track.
No. The back straight.
The back straight,
well,
yes.
It's the biggest straight, it's the longest straight.
Yes, I thought you meant the start-finish line. No,
I didn't mean this.
Anyway, right, yes, you're absolutely right.
Thank you.
So, is that the fastest corner? No.
No, the one before is the fastest. It's 150 miles an hour. And then, funnily enough, they only accelerate 1 more miles per hour before they have to brake for the chicane.
Okay.
So 151.
Cool.
Maximum speed round here.
Cool. And we've got this nice, everything is Dutchy, isn't it?
Very Dutch.
With the Circuit Assen grandstand, and all the curbs are in the Dutchy colours.
Yeah, and I think it's actually, I've never been to Assen before. Actually, that's not true. I have been to Assen because Champ Car came here hundreds of years ago, and I came here for that, but it wasn't actually, I didn't come for the race, but yes. I think it looks great.
Is this where we cut through? I should add that happily, on most of the circuits we go to, the circuit name is abbreviated with the first three letters, and happily on these ones they've chosen ASN rather than. Anyway,
I'm sure people would graffiti us with the first
possibly.
3 letters.
Yeah. So they also have this cafe, and this I particularly like, Alan and Lingling, is that you can actually sit and have your beer. We need to walk a bit quicker, while watching everybody with a pit in. Oh yes, and there's some sort of event going on upstairs.
To be honest with you, that's where I think you had FP2, because when we were doing our run-throughs, there was no TED.
I was there, but you weren't faded up. We were doing some other stuff with microphones that isn't important.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, how do we think everybody is going to approach this weekend? For Jamie, surely, given that, all right, she can wrap up the championship, she's not thinking about that. Surely she's not out to win this race. She just has to have solid points to make sure that she can win it with a 5th at Brands or something in 3 weeks' time.
This weekend. She said to me earlier on, she wants to win the championship this weekend.
Thing is, she doesn't need to, but if you go into with the mentality of all I need to do is, you tend to not commit to the same levels as you need to, and ultimately that's the biggest risk. I think you go out with the same mentality as you've had for the races up till now, Ted, and ultimately you've also got the backup if you don't get it done this weekend.
We get out the bottom of there.
Yeah. We came in this way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Miles is doing an excellent job walking backwards.
Look, you see, it's all about the bikes. Well, and the
TT
W Series.
Is, this is what it's called, TT Circuit Assen.
tourist
Am
trophy.
I the only one waiting for our hard-working cameraman?
We just have to
I
be
know,
quickly.
but-
And how do you judge, Lee and Alan? What's that making the noise? It's a sweeper. How do you judge then the other drivers' approaches? Because this is also an important race in terms of they've made it absolutely clear what's expected to qualify for the W Series next year, and super license points. I'll get you on super license points. What do you think? I mean, they must be desperate to finish top 12 because you've got people in the championship. You know, Piria 9th, Sabre Cook 10th, Kimmerlein 11th, Esme Hawkey 12th, Goshia Rades 13th.
There are 2 points between 12th and 20th. And I just think it's incredible. This is actually going to define whether somebody has already qualified for this series or not. And I spoke to one driver, who I won't say who it was, this morning, and she was in a complete panic about this because she hadn't scored any points in the first 4 races.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take that many. She doesn't have to win it. She just needs 2 points, and that will make a big difference whether she's here next year or she's not.
A young friend of yours?
Yeah, that's Steffi Medley, who sorts out all of our travel at Audi.
Oh, okay. Richard and
No.
Judy?
No, definitely not.
And the super license, sorry. And the super license points. Explain to me why that is important.
It's important because now to get to Formula One, and it was after Max Verstappen arrived there at 17 years old, they wanted to put in a structure that drivers had to kind of qualify to get to super license to allow you to race in F1. And so they put this in place, and only certain championships get certain points allocated towards it. And so for the W Series, it's really important because I think it's a statement of where it is in the ladder of progression for a driver. And if I look at, talking about Jamie Chadwick, she's always already linked, I should say, to Williams. And so for them to actually put her in a car to see if she can race in F1 at some time in the future, she needs those points.
You know what's going to happen? Ted's going to ditch us. I think Ted's seen more exciting people to speak to.
Who? I was pretty clear.
For his walk
yes, I have.
to
but I think
WHQ.
I think we all
we're
knew
done.
that.
Our time is done.
Well, all I can say is he needs a lift back to the hotel with us. So I reckon that we should leave.
I do. In your Twizzy. Okay,
That's what you think, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys.
Bye-bye.
Saw right through me, didn't they? Sarah Moore just passed through, and that is crucial. Just to pick up on the super license position, and even to compete in a Formula One free practice session, you need a super license. And in order to qualify, you need a certain amount of points. And now, if you're a female racing driver, this will help. This is really what you'll need to get your super license points if you win it. Now, talking about if you win it, here are the 2 people who are closest to winning it. So the only people who can win it this week, or at all now, are Jamie Chadwick, Beitske Visser, Marta Garcia and Fabian Volvend. Everybody else is too far behind because Volvend is 42 points behind. There are 50 points on offer, so Jamie and Beitske would have to have a terrible couple of weekends, and Fabian Volvend would have to win both of them, and she could yet be the champion. But while she can drive the championship leader, she seemingly, breaking?
Well, we're doing a bit of a social media challenge.
Oh, right.
I'm sure it's going to be on YouTube soon. I'll give you a plug. Where we have to
We're
teach
on
each
YouTube.
other. I know, but
Okay. You have to. Sorry, go on.
it's both on the WC channel as well, isn't it?
It is, yes.
We're both driving blindfolded or with whatever these are, and talking
yeah.
each other through a lap of Hockenheim. And it
cool.
turns out we should never be teammates because we're terrible.
We can't do it.
Okay, brilliant.
But that's fine.
I'm sure it'll work brilliantly. Yes. And tell me, we've been speaking about the weekend. I'm kind of, do all of that. What were you doing with Fernando Alonso this week, and what was he like?
Oh, so I was, so I'm part of Fernando's esports team. So I do a little bit of sim racing. And so obviously he was out in Oviedo, which is where he's got his museum, and we're doing a bit of filming together, but he's such a cool guy, honestly. I don't know what I was expecting, but yeah, he exceeded my expectations. It was really cool to hang out with him. His museum's incredible. If anyone ever finds themselves in northern Spain, definitely recommend going. And yeah, it was a good week.
Did you ask him for any, fantastic advice?
I should have done, I didn't. But he was really cool. And he did say just keep doing as much as you can do. Obviously, the Fernando Alonso way of racing is just to race in everything, which is really cool. And also he's sort of very aware of what we're all up to in Junior Motorsport. So it's quite cool that he was knowing what I was up to in W Series. And yeah, it's exciting.
Good. Jamie, thank you very much. Beitske, tell me about today. What's all this? 4th in the first session, 12th in the second. I saw you making a rear suspension change. Was that rear ride height? What was going on there?
Yeah, we tried some things in the second session. I mean, P12 doesn't look so good, but many people went on new tires and we didn't, so I'm not too worried.
You craftily saved a set of new tires for tomorrow.
That's the idea, yes, if it stays dry.
Right, yes. What is your, well, I would ask local knowledge, but everyone looks at apps these days. And what do you understand the weather is going to be tomorrow, and how might that change?
My forecast will be a wet qualifying and a dry race.
Okay, so that could yet still work in your favour.
We'll
new
see.
tyres.
We'll see tomorrow.
Okay, brilliant. All right, well, have a good home event, and you've been very busy doing lots of media, which I know is not your favourite thing, so we'll let you go. Thank you very much. Beitske. So who else? We should find Sarah. Done 10 minutes or so. So see if Sarah is around. Annie, is Sarah around? She was fastest. She was fastest today. Was she? Oh no, that's okay. Everyone's being interviewed. Emma is Emma Kimmelainen, who in the last race actually brilliantly got up to 11th in the championship. So as it stands, Emma, excellent. Emma does qualify for next year, which would be great, seeing as she's had such an interrupted season, I should say, today. We will have a quick word with Caitlin Wood, who was Sabre Cook, 13th, double 13th today. Just a quick, well, do you know what? She's having a private conversation. I don't want to interrupt. But I will have a quick final word with Sarah Moore, who was fastest at the end of today. Just remind you, so what have we done? We've done, Megan Gilks is back in, and check where you can see W-Series, wseries.com, for the extra race. There is a non-championship race with a reverse grid on, you're right lads, on Sunday, I do want you, and it's available to watch on Twitter, I think, and on Facebook, and where else is it available to watch? Just everywhere. So have a look at wseries.com, and you can watch the non-championship race with a reverse thingamajig on Sunday. It's a bit dark in here, let's go outside. Have I got that right? Smooth, eh? Yeah, cool. All right, cool. And if you're in the UK, 2:45, Channel 4. But quickest today, how was it?
Yeah, it was good. I think there was only a few of us that opted to put the new tyres on in FP2. But yeah, I went into FP2 with the old tyres from FP1, just aiming to set good consistent lap times. I think I was P3 on old tyres, so I was comfortable at that. So we just thought, you know, if it does rain in the race tomorrow, why not throw in a new set of tyres for FP2? So we went for that, and I was comfortable that I could find some time. So to come out of that P1 has done me the world of good for confidence right now.
Excellent. What do you like about or think is cool about this track? If you don't know the circuit, go and have a look. The first corner is like sort of the Chinese F1 track with deciding where it's going to go. It's a right-hand turn, then another right-hand turn, then another right-hand turn, and then it sort of doubles back on yourself. And just when you think you're going to start the lap again, it finally goes left.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love the track. I've struggled with previous tracks with the slow speed corners with the hairpins. Right. So coming from GTs, the hairpins have been the hardest part for me. So yeah, this high speed stuff, I'm absolutely loving it right now.
Brilliant. Okay, Sarah, fastest today. Thank you so much. We will let you go about your business. And just remind you that it's 2:45. You're watching us in the UK. 2:45 Channel 4 European time. Coverage starts 3:45, and the race is off slightly after that. And stay tuned on Sunday. Have a look wseries.com and all the social media channels for the non-championship race with a mixed-up grid. And tomorrow, with the weather, anything can happen. So make sure you do tune in. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.